Chris Mitchell. Israel continues to prepare for a ground invasion of Gaza as it pounds Gaza from the air. CBN's Chuck Holton is in the south of Israel and has the latest.
Israel has been battling Hamas. Now Israel's military leaders say the time is approaching for a ground invasion to achieve its objectives.
Our job is to dismantle you, and that will happen. Any who associate with you, whether they're Houthi rebels, whether they're in Iraq, whether they're in Iran, your boss is in Iran, all who oppose the God of Israel and decency and human life will be dismantled. And that goes across. So this is a line being drawn in the sand, and beware, because your judgment day has come.
And everyone in Israel is doing what they can to help. Marco Moreno is bringing supplies to frontline troops.
It's not a burden, it's a right for us as Israelis to serve those guys. It takes time, you've been in the military, you know, it takes time to get everything from storage, supply. In the end, those are our kids, those are our nephews, those are our neighbors, those are the generation, the future of this country.
Despite the constant aerial barrage, Hamas still manages to fire off dozens of rockets from Gaza each day.
There's a large barrage of rockets coming from Gaza right now. Those puffs of smoke right there behind me are evidence of the Iron Dome system taking down many of those rockets that are headed for populated areas in Ashkelon and further on.
But Iron Dome can't root out Hamas terrorists in Gaza. These soldiers know what they're up against.
Why aren't we done yet? Well, I'd say if they understood the complexity of underground warfare, there's bombs that are underwater. There's things people can't even think of. There's supplies from North Korea, the F-7 rocket launchers from Pyongyang. There's stuff that people haven't begun to understand.
Israel continues to urge civilians in Gaza to evacuate to the south, even as the IDF continues to pound Hamas positions. Israel insists its goals are to dismantle Hamas and rescue over 200 hostages, despite worldwide protests against the campaign.
And we're not going to stop until we will destroy Hamas. Hamas is a terror organization worse than ISIS. The Palestinian people doesn't nothing to do with it. It's not their blame. It's the Hamas. We're going to destroy Hamas. We're going to kill them all, and then we're going to talk about ceasefire.
Israel contends that eliminating the Hamas threat will ultimately help the Palestinian people, although the complicated operation is likely to take months or even years.
I hear people talking about proportionality and saying, well, how many exactly did they kill? Should we act exactly like them and go and invade a peace festival? Well, there aren't any peace festivals. And go in and kill innocent lives and murder and take hostages? No. What we have to do is focus on the actual true thought, which is fulfill your mission, restore security, dismantle the threat.
Chuck Holton, CBN News, Ashkelon.
What I just heard is a bunch of finger pointing from both sides. At the end of the day, the kids, the innocent children in these countries that's going to war are suffering the ultimate consequence. Welcome to the show. The show is sponsored by Stack Chicken and Justice for Kamal Flowers, my brother, who was murdered by the police 3 years ago. This topic is very, very, very serious. It's a world issue. Because what's happening is, being that the United States serves as a big brother to these other countries, we're aiding slaughter. We're not going in and being the big brother to step in and handle situations. 51 people in there, hit the like button. This is real talk tonight. There's a war going on outside that they just keep showing you how Hamas, how the Palestinian people are supposed to be these evil, no good people, right? And all you see is Israel bombing with the help of the United States. Israel is bombing and slaughtering more children than anybody. They don't care who they kill. They want to wipe out the whole Palestinian race. It's not a matter of securing the threat and getting rid of the threat, because there's some threats on the Israeli side as well. This war is not fitted for nobody, but the United States shouldn't be involved in it, period. We got a war going on within the United States that we overlook. The political people in the United States overlook the wars that's going on within their own country. Won't implement no programs or no resources for people to change the wars that's going on in the streets of the United States, all across the United States. But the United States will go out of country and help another country take over somebody else's land, slaughter their family without rhyme or reason. There is no talk. Just go in there and wipe them out. No disrespect, the Jewish community runs the United States. If the United States don't help the Israelis, then the United States loses a lot of funding from the Jewish community. It looks like it's like Israel is forcing the United States to make moves on their behalf. And I just heard somebody on a news thing before talking about CMB Benjamin Peace. I just seen somebody on an interview saying, and this was somebody that was part of the UN committee. He was sitting at one of them UN functions, right? And they said Palestinian life is basically worthless to the Israeli lives. And he said that with conviction, and it just made me sit back and think. And this was somebody that supports the Israeli movement that the United States is backing. So Joe Biden is looking crazy out here. Mr. President, there's things going on in this country right here you need to be looking at, instead of going to other places, sending money, sending aid, sending help. What about helping the people in this country? Joe Biden fed everybody the biggest story in America to get votes. And he did it on the back of Obama. He even had Obama tricked. That just goes to show you how people can be manipulated with bad causes. Whole war going on over here. Meanwhile, Democratic Congressman Jamal Bowman gets caught, gets arrested at DC. I don't know if he got arrested, but he got in trouble for pulling the fire alarm. Jamal Bowman, Democratic Congressman. I know him. Spoke to him on a couple occasions. He gets caught pulling the fire alarm in Washington. It's all over the news. And it happens. Whenever the United States is not supposed to be involving themselves in an international war, they will showcase any political member over here and put them in a scandal so we could take our attention off of how we're funding a war of slaughter. This is why a lot of countries do not like the United States. The United States government interferes with situations they shouldn't be interfering with. When Palestinian people is fighting for land that was taken from them long time ago. Do your research, do whatever. Now, I'm not saying that bombs is okay, but if somebody takes something from me, I have the right to go and get mine back. You don't have the right to just come in and take my stuff and think it's going to be okay with you just taking my stuff. It's not cool. And everywhere you turn, you see in reports from Israel downplaying the Hamas, downplaying the Palestinians. And it's just making it look crazy around here because now lines are drawn and people are choosing sides. The United States government don't take the sides of the Israeli government. The United States loses a lot of money. A lot of money. New single featuring Stunner Gang Wi-Fi drops 12 midnight on all platforms. Go stream me, NOGAME, the number 5 EEV on all major platforms. Grand Pooba, son. Shout outs to Grand Pooba. Shout outs to Stunner Gang. You know, you could pre-save it right now, Spotify, Apple Music, all that. But the reality of the measures is the United States is stepping in and imposing in situations they really shouldn't be involved, but I dig it. It's all part of United Nations, but everybody don't know the depths of the relationship with the Israeli government and the United States government. Y'all just seen Joe Biden go out and give a whole bunch of money to Ukraine to help, because that's where some of his bloodline is from. The president of the United States could care less about the United States. He was campaigning to give out free crack pipes to the drug addicts for their votes. His son just got indicted for some dirty playing. And it's mysteriously how his son is going through his court cases. We have war over here already. Xavier, Oglesby, shout outs to you. I love the dialect. I love what we could build. The United States been having war for the longest. You don't see that the police is shooting and killing people in the street. People is going on mad rampages, shooting up everything across the nation and schools and everything all around the board. We have our own wars internally. So before we can go and regulate somewhere else, we have to understand that we must take care of home first. There's so much going on at home. No. You say, I want you to explain now. You said it isn't a war-torn country. There's a difference. What's the reasons for the wars going on over there? You do your research? Because I did a little bit of research, and it shows that if you really want to be technical, the Israelis started the whole war because once that whole Jordan River area was broken down into 3 sections, the Israelis wanted to take over areas that Palestinian people already existed in. That's right. At the end of the day, the Israelis, not all, but some of the Israelis, and you know how that's saying? All it takes is for a few people of a kind to make it bad for the whole kind. Look at how blacks are treated in this country. Not all blacks are bad people. Not all blacks are stingy savages and live like savages. But at the end of the day, couple people mess it up for us, couple people mess it up for white people, couple people mess it up for Chinese people, couple people mess it up for Arab people. Do you believe we live in a diplomatic country? Do you believe that? You get up and go to work to pay taxes on a government that takes your money and helps aid a war in another country. You don't pay your taxes, you go to jail. You can't walk in somebody else's home and do what you want. And the head diplomatic person that's supposed to be running this country hasn't been a righteous person since he was a senator. There's footage of Joe Biden talking racial as he's a senator. Now he's a president, he's making his slick remarks towards blacks. How we ain't black if we don't vote for Joe Biden. Remember that? How Joe Biden's going to pass the crack pipes out to the crackheads saying vote for him and you get the free crack pipe. What you going to do, give them the work too? This is turning into a communistic country, believe it or not. Remember the country had curfews. Remember, this United States had curfews. This was before he was in office. The United States had curfews. The United States don't. This is not the land of the free and home of the brave. This is not it. Well, for black people, it's not the land of the free and the home of the brave because we don't have equal rights. Let them tell it. I'm just being real, but I love the dialect. Appreciate you. Hit the like button. Share this dialect. Share this page. I want to build with people. You know what I'm saying? More on this to about 12. My single dropped tonight at 12. You know what I mean? Shout outs to everybody that tapped in, man. You know, real talking. We just building and politicking. Said, we say to you that the blood of the heroes will turn into a curse that will remove this occupier. All those who stand behind it, all those who do not support our people. Let me hear what this means. You got to hear this.
Will not begin until you fight the...
Kill them all, and then we're going to talk about ceasefire.
Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Look, I don't know. The way it's going, you never know. Africa's looking pretty good to me. You know why I say that? Because the United States is involved in so much, Xavier. The United States is going to end up with a big target on them in years to come. And you see how the bombs is landing over there overseas? Even though we got the technology. There's other countries that got our technology too. It might not have the superficial, power, but some other countries got nuclear weapons. Some other countries got high technology. Look at the Far East. Look at China. Look at North Korea. You're right. Every country does the same thing. I'm not knocking you. I'm not shooting you down. Every country does the same thing. But we would have less issues if we didn't go butting our nose in religious wars, because some countries have their religious wars that we done put our nose in the front of.
As the world sees the evil of Hamas, many see the Palestinian Authority led by President Mahmoud Abbas as a moderate alternative to the terror group. Evidence from this past week of action taken by the group's religious leaders disputes that idea. I talked with an expert that reports on and publicizes what the PA and its various arms tell their own people. Last Friday, the Palestinian Authority Ministry of Religion sent this notice to its mosques, instructing imams to make a certain point in their sermons and prayers.
One of the things they should talk about is quoting the Hadith, the Islamic tradition that calls for literally the genocide of Jews. This is what the Palestinian Authority Ministry of Religion told their religious leaders to talk about today.
That Hadith quote reads, "The judgment hour will not begin until you fight the Jews, until a Jew will hide behind a rock or a tree, and the rock or tree will say, 'O Muslim, O slave of Allah, here is a Jew behind me, come and kill him.'"
That's propaganda. That's somebody with pure hate in their heart. And if you practice the Muslim religion, you're not practicing hate, but at the end of the day, you practice to defend everything that you love. It's not making it right, period. You got one side saying kill this side, wipe them out. You got this side saying wipe them out. And the U.S. is, instead of stepping in and saying, hold on, y'all. Get this. You're not knocking America for keeping us involved over there. Why? If America's not involved with what's going on over there, then America's good, right? So if America don't go over there and meddle and get in between nothing, America's good. This is the curse of having the United Nations, though. If we have a United Nations, then things like that shouldn't be happening. Why do these countries have their flags in the UN building? They have these summits, they sit down, they kick it, and there's no common ground. These are things that are known about at the UN summits that they have yearly. There's no resolution or even no blueprint drawn up in these summit meetings to where things like this don't happen. The United States is over here standing side by side with Israel, so they chose a side. It's not no diplomatic stuff. Diplomats roam and diplomats are good, okay? But where it looks like the US is choosing a side, and instead of being the big brother, because everybody makes money with the US. This is a money thing that's going on. It's not even about the religious thing. It's not even about the fight, bro. It's a money thing going on now. It went from that in the beginning. But once the U.S. stepped in, you know, the U.S. brings money, more troops, more ships. You got some of our U.S. fighters out there helping. We don't know. There'll be a lot of covert things going on with this country. So we don't know if we got a group of people out there helping. For what? Americans died on this. Now, Americans died. This is where Joe Biden steps in and handles it, right? Nobody wants to talk about how the U.S. bombed Africa, though. And it wasn't around this war. It was the war before. A little minor war, and that's when they were showing us on the media, on the TV, that China was setting up ships here. The U.S. was setting up ships here, and the whole time they got us shifting and looking at that propaganda. It wasn't so much of a war. It was like putting the country on scared. Remember when they said, I think it was China or one of them Far Eastern countries had moved their ships like near Hawaii, close to Hawaii or something like that? And why we focusing on that? The U.S. bombs Africa. I'm going to tell you, hold on a minute. It was all that hoopla. Matter of fact, it wasn't the U.S. war. It was when Russia and Ukraine was going to war, and Russia was invading Ukraine, doing all that mess and killing everything. That same time, the United States bombed Africa, bombed a spot out in Africa. That's the war I was talking about. The Russia and Ukraine war, when that was going on and everybody in the United States was going crazy talking about this war, nobody was talking about the United States bombing Africa. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. They bombed Somalia. They still was kicking that Al-Qaeda stuff. Is that 2022? 2022. October 3rd, 2022. when the U.S. forces conduct strike in Somalia targeting al-Shabaab leader. But they didn't tell you about that on the news. They just spoke about the Ukraine and Russia war. That was the diversion. That was the diversion. The Russia-Ukraine war was the diversion. Facts. On everything. United States bombed Africa. United States is involving themselves in a whole lot of mess. What you mean? They didn't tell us on the news, bro. I found out about it because I Googled it. I Googled on some real ish when Ukraine and Russia was going to war. Something just told, I'm just thinking, I ain't even front, and this is no cap. I'm sitting in my house and I'm saying, if this war is happening, let me see what the U.S. is involved in. I Google searched what wars are the United States involved in 2022, and that came up. No, brother. No, brother. The news didn't give me nothing, bro. When Russia and Ukraine was bombing each other, when Russia was invading Ukraine, they didn't tell you on the news that the United States was going to war with Africa. They didn't tell you that. They only made that news after they killed that man. I don't know what you researching, brother. I found that out because I typed in U.S. wars in 2022. And that's how I got the information that they were striking Somalia. Show me a clip. Go get a link and put the link in my comments. Show me a link where the news was telling us that we was going to war with Somalia. At the time, Russia and Ukraine was fighting. Because October 3rd, 2022 was around the time where, hold on, let me get it right before I even say anything else. Let me get it right. Let me get it right. On February 24th, 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine. February 24th. You heard? October 3rd, the U.S. was striking Somalia. We knew about Ukraine and Russia because Joe Biden's aid in Ukraine, and the U.S. think that Russia's more of a threat to anybody, to us mainly, than anybody else. Russia has the United States' ultimate attention and respect. And I ain't saying this because I'm against the country. I'm just kicking facts. It's real realities. We dealing with realities. I don't deal with the fraudulent stuff. And I research my stuff. And I don't believe all the way what this tell you. You gotta dig more. See, this is what happens when people don't know who they be talking to. I have friends. The guy who produces my music is straight from the Congos. He called his people back home to check on his people. And in the process of him calling on his people, he's talking to his people, and his people is telling them that certain parts of their area, their land on the other side, is being bombed as they speak. I have people that's connected to places. I have a person that plays basketball for the African world team, and they was on lockdown, couldn't practice and do nothing. How do I know? I don't talk BS, bro. Me and my homeboy, my producer, he was sitting here trying to contact all his family members in the Congos at that time because they were scared the whole African side was going to get bombed. Now, I didn't have no people in Somalia. My producer's family, some of his family lived in the Congos. His name is Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa, last name so crazy I don't even know how to pronounce it, so I'm not even going to try. And my other homeboy, Ahmed, they family live out there. They live in the United States. We help send clothes and garments and stuff back home to us people in their country. Got some people that live in Kenya. I don't be knowing what y'all, you know, but it is what it is. This is the single that's dropping tonight, midnight, featuring Grand Pooba Son.
Tell me how you supposed to feel when you lose your dog. Waking up in all these tears, ready to lose it all. Got me using all these drugs, trying to break the fall. Had to shake it off and get back to it. I'm a star. Now these bitches wanna serve me while I'm standing tall. But I don't need them grimy chickens trying to cluck. They trying to cluck. Let's get this cash, run up a bag. It's time to get some. Let's get this money. I done struggled long enough, so I became a boss. I run the show unlocked with keys. Now I be opening doors. Got no issues with the hate. I embrace it all. Politicking with my niggas piss me off. Y'all be worried about these bitches while I'm skipping off. Mixing Henny with a chaser, hit the sniff and cough. I'm living hella great, getting high in my high rise. I'm feeling hella.
I know that, but at that particular moment, they bombed Somalia, so they was in Africa bombing.
This shit just gotta wait. I'm just rolling up the spliff, trying to catch a wave. Inhale the vibes before they fade away. Never worry about what happened yesterday. On the grind, trying to get us paid. The struggle's always real, living day to day. I'm just rolling up the spliff, trying to catch a wave. Inhale the vibes before they fade away. Never worry about what happened yesterday. On the grind, trying to get us paid. The struggle's always real, living day to day.
Dixon University, no game representative. Stunner gain the general respect when you mention him. Got a little glimpse of my aura and now she interested. Ain't nothing new. Sonny been ballin' out since Remington. Trips to the West Coast, know I keep me the best smoke. Niggas still sleep, we gon' wake them up like espresso. Me and Five connected like Wi-Fi. Top flow in the skyline, play the cut like peroxide. Nike flow, I just do it. She like how I maneuver, play the beat, watch me maneuver. Don't get mad when niggas bite my style. I make a new one, can't stop. I keep it pushing like razor scooters. She love it when I slap her on the ass while I'm wrecking it. Right hand, left hand, gang ambidextrous. Quality over quantity, I'm a perfectionist. I don't even try no more, this shit effortless. Gangman.
Make sure y'all go check that out. NOGAME, the number 5 EEV, streaming on all music platforms. Look up Wi-Fi, drops in about 40 minutes. Shout out to my brother Stunner Gang, the son of Grand Pooba, legendary Grand Pooba, Brand Nubians, Masters of Ceremonies, 50 years of hip hop. We about to drop some real heat. Yeah, I appreciate y'all for tapping in the show, man, because this is very good dialogue that we building on, because I feel, this is just me, I feel the U.S. shouldn't even be involved with what's going on, because we got so much going on with that within home. Excuse me. We got so much going on with that within home that we got to straighten out. We gotta straighten out how the hell are these guns ending up in the hands of our babies. And they're shooting up stuff, they're getting shot and killed, some are getting killed by the police because they got these weapons on them. This is what needs to happen inside this country, Why is there so much homelessness going on, but all these development buildings is being built all over, these high-rise buildings that won't take in the low-income people, but now they starting to get clauses to where they have to accept low-income housing, a certain number. It's like having diversity. That's just their nice way of saying having diversity. But all this development stuff going on, but there's still homelessness going on. Shout outs to Alyssa Fleet. There's a whole lot of stuff going on within our country. We helping too many other people, and that's why our country's falling apart the way our babies is killing everything. And some of y'all people are scared to walk out y'all doors and walk to y'all cars because y'all not telling these political people that we need to start minding our damn business. We don't care about the money. Is money more valuable than a life in this country? It's starting to look like it is. Our babies are dying left and right out here, and because we caring as citizens of this country. It's the people who's running this country that don't give a damn. They want the little kids to get the guns. How the guns getting in the neighborhoods? They coming from the South, or they coming from where they coming from. And there's loopholes to where people could get guns. But at the end of the day, what's going to happen is the United States or some country That's right. Yo, Xavier, you absolutely right. But at the end of the day, somebody has to be the adult. The United States is not being the adult, bro. We're aiding Israel. Is the United States aiding Palestine? Simple yes, no question to me. The United States stepped in and aided Israel and not Palestine. So the United States is not serving as no adult in this situation. They should be in between the middle of this shit, threatening both sides. Xavier, you saying the United States is aiding Palestine? You got to show me. You got to put links in these comments, bro. You got to show me some proof. Go grab a link somewhere so I can tap in and check it out, where the United States sends Palestine, the Palestinian government, $2 billion annually. You saying that we help Israel? Where I live at in my city, the north end of my city is predominantly Jewish. They have an Orthodox church up there. They have all these situations going on up there. They don't interact with the inner cities unless they floating through or they tied into the courts somehow or tied into some building. It has to do with some money. I need you to Google it for me. I'm on live. I'm not Googling it. You Google it. You the one made the statement. You have to show me proof. I'm not going to do your homework for you. Whatever I speak on is I'm researching this. I'm doing homework for me. You made a statement, so you find the link and put the link in the comments and show me. Show me and other people out here, because I need to see that now. If the U.S. is aiding the Palestinian government, giving them $2 billion, I know I asked the question. You gave the answer. So that means you know for a fact that this is happening. All I said was for you to prove your statement. That's like calling some. So put it in the chat if you already know, bro. That's like saying somebody a rat and can't prove it. Show me. Show me. I just want you to show me. If you already know, it should be easier for you to show me then. You should be able to show me. Bro, you be talking. You doing capping, bro. It says today, just today. This was posted October 18th of 2023, Xavier. President Biden announced today that the United States is providing $100 million in humanitarian assistance for the Palestinian people in Gaza and the West Bank. That's humanitarian assistance. He's providing money to the Israeli government supporting the war. It doesn't say $2 billion annually, bro. It doesn't say. See, you capping, bro. $2 billion annually, that's a lie. The United States was the largest single donor to the UNRWA in 21 and 22, contributing over $338 million in 21 and $344 million in 2022. Where's the $2 billion annually at? Where's the $2 billion annually at, brother? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I did it already. Show me something that contradicts that. This is posted October 18th. As of last year and the year before, they gave up a combined, bro, $682 million in the last 2 years. I am responsible for the people that I lead. You making false statements, brother. You told me to Google it, I Googled it, and what you said was a false statement. Now what? What we doing? Don't get mad at me because I called you. I told you to prove it. You told me to Google it, I Googled it, and I gave you the proof that what you were saying was a lie. What we doing, man? It don't say nowhere in here that the U.S. gives $2 billion. No. I asked if the American government aided the Palestinian government. And they wasn't up until the time this war happened. Now they sending humanitarian help because the United States want to look like somebody they comforting people. You just aided Israel to war. And now you want to give their opposition humanitarian money for people that already bombed kids killed. Man, listen. Half of these people out here don't know what they be talking about sometimes. They just be talking. Talking, bro. Talking. You think you trying to call me on something? You can't call me on something because I do my research, bro. You made a false claim and that was a lie. You lied on it, buddy.
Tell me how you supposed to feel when you lose your dog. Waking up in all these tears, ready to lose it all. Got me using all these drugs, trying to break the fall. Had to shake it off and get back to it. I'm a star. Now these bitches wanna serve me.
When you lose your dog. Rest in peace to my little brother, murdered by police 3 years ago. I'm still fighting, facing charges right now in this government.
Tell me how you supposed to feel when you lose your dog. Waking up in all these tears, ready to lose it all. Got me using all these drugs, trying to break.
Xavier, prime example. America doesn't send aid to America. Police killed my brother 3 years ago, lied, said he had a gun, he drew a gun, they shot him with a taser, he falls to the ground. But before all this happened, my brother runs away from the cop. I'm gonna give you their version first. I'm gonna give you their version first. Police killed my brother 3 years ago. Lied, said my brother pulled the gun on him. Cocked it back. First, my brother ran away from it. He sidestepped in the street. A gun falls. He picks the gun up. This is what they're saying. Gun falls in the street. He picks the gun up, hold it to his waist. He running away from the officer. Him and the officer's tussling. The officer hits my brother with the taser. My brother falls to the ground. The officer's getting up on him. My brother allegedly is pointing his hand with his alleged gun in his hand, going to shoot the officer. It doesn't fire. The officer said he's backing up. He drops his radio, stun gun. And no, the officer said he backs away. He said at that time, my brother allegedly is pointing the gun still. He's shaking. He slaps the bottom of the rack in, bottom of the clip in the gun, cocks the gun back, and attempts to fire at the officer. At that time, the officer allegedly drops his radio and his taser, backs away, and then shoots 6 times. The whole time, the officer's not telling y'all that he was shooting at my brother.
Talk about this. I want you to share this with your people. Welcome. Good morning. This is a serious topic that we're elaborating on.
I'm advocating against police brutality. I'm giving all the brothers out there education on what to do when stopped by the police.
Situations, but
you can't really see.
Me doing my due diligence. Once you put out a murder charge on somebody, no matter if you found not guilty, you're exonerated.
Can't see too much.
Limitations on murder. And we didn't.
I can send you this link though.
Intentional murder. The family didn't want intentional murder. The family wanted second-degree murder or manslaughter at the most. But right now, I'm about to play the footage. That's going to show my brother being murdered. Pay attention closely to the top part of the screen, which is up above the lights. You see the lights right now? It's a sidewalk right behind that.
I'm going to show y'all.
To the top part of that screen. And we're going to get this going right now for you so you can actually see how my brother was walked down like an animal. Pay attention.
What I'm about to show you is my brother being chased by a police officer, right? Right up here is where my brother falls.
Up in here, you're going to see my brother.
Right? Mind you, I told you the whole layout. The officer said my brother ran into the street. You're going to see my brother run into the street. He said a gun falls. A gun doesn't fall. You don't see my brother reach at the ground and pick up nothing. You see my brother duck like he's being shot at, and he ducks the bullet from hitting him in the head. On this wall over here, there's a chip from where the bullet hit him. The whole time in that report, they not telling you from that point where he fell at that car and got right back up, he's being shot at by the police. The police said when he stepped into the street, the Ruger fell, he picked it up, he shot him with the taser, he falls, he approaches him, my brother's trying to shoot the officer, all this other bullshit, right? The officer then drops his weapon and gets on his knees telling him don't do it and then fires 6 shots, right? He said he fired 6 shots.
Chase, you're going to see flashes
Watch.
of a muzzle
Watch
flashes from a gun, not a taser. Pay attention.
That's
see,
one
that's
flash.
1. That's 2. That's 3. My brother's being shot at. Look, he's ducking and dodging bullets. See? The officer
Where the gun fall on the ground? Where he pick up off the ground?
He's walking him down. Shot him. That's a flash. That's 4, 5, 6. He's on his knees now.
See the
7.
bullet skip up off the ground.
He shoots 3 more times after he's dead. Another flash. Look, like, how is that not murder? Where's the tussle? I'm going to run it.
What I'm doing for change is I'm fighting against the police right now. 3 years after my brother got killed, another young brother from my neighborhood got shot by the police in front of a church, lying and saying that he had a gun. He had a gun. That's their famous words when they want to execute black men, is that he got a gun or he was reaching for a gun. They shot Abner Louima 40-something times because he was reaching for his wallet. They wanted him to show ID. He reached for his wallet. They open up and unload on him. This is in America. This is not in no other country. This is right here in America. And by me talking about my brother being murdered by the police, I'm facing 11 charges in this country for expressing my First Amendment right under the Constitution as an American citizen, taxpaying, because I own a business, No Game Discounts. I get all the household products, toiletries, body wash, all that for a lower price than where you can get it, and I promise you that. And I ship all across the United States and outside the country. What me and my team is going to do in the upcoming future is we're going to send boxes out to both sides. We don't even know where it's going. We just sending it to the government. We're going to let them disperse it. That's what we're going to do. But as the United States government, they shouldn't be in the middle of it. If you're going to be involved, stop it. Because that's what everybody knows. Don't bully, as you say. What are we doing out here? Single drops in 24 minutes. Make sure y'all run the Spotify, Apple Music, and search NOGAME, the number 5 EEV, and search Wi-Fi. That's what we doing, man. Big shout outs to you, Xavier, because I like talking with people like you because you keep me on my toes.
Tell me how you supposed to feel when you lose your dog. Waking up in all these tears, ready to lose it all. Got me using all these drugs, trying to break the fall. Had to shake it off and get back to it. I'm a star. Now these bitches wanna serve me while I'm standing tall. But I don't need them grimy chickens trying to cluck. They trying to cluck. Let's get this cash, run up a bag. It's time to get this money. I done struggled long enough, so I became a boss. I run the show unlocked with keys. Now I be open.
Make sure you go get my book, Heart You Like, Volume 1 and 2. My book, I wrote this.
Piss me off. Just be out the way about these bitches while I'm skipping off. Mixing Henny with a chaser, hit the spliff and cough. I'm living hella great, getting high in my high rise. I'm feeling hella straight. Little pasta, couple lobsters on a nigga. I gotta eat. I'ma go get it. That other shit just gotta wait. I'm just rolling up the spliff, trying to catch a wave. Inhale the vibes before they fade away. Never worry about what happened yesterday. On the grind, trying to get us paid. The struggle's always real, living day to day. I'm just rolling up the spliff, trying to catch a wave. Inhale the vibes before they fade away. Never worry about what happened yesterday. On the grind, trying to get us paid. The struggle's always real, living day to day.
Dixon University, no game representative. Stunner gain a general respect when you mention him. Got a little glimpse of my aura and now she interested. Ain't nothing new. Sonny been ballin' out since Remington. Trips to the West Coast, know I keep me the best smoke. Niggas still sleep, we gon' wake them up like espresso. Me and 5 connected like Wi-Fi. Top flow in the skyline, play the cut like peroxide. Nike flow, I just do it. She like how I maneuver, play the beat, watch me maneuver. Don't get mad when niggas bite my style. I make a new one, can't stop. I keep it pushing like razor scooters. She love it when I slap her on the ass while I'm wrecking it. Right hand, left hand, gang pedestrians. Quality over quantity, I'm a perfectionist. I don't even try no more, this shit effortless. Gangman.
Gang, Grand Puma son. Make sure y'all stream NOGAME number 5 EEV on all platforms. Go get that music. It drop at 12 midnight. Until then, stay sharp, stay on top of your game, and love us always. You heard? One.